Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We in the building. Welcome, party people. If you don't know, my name is Jennifer, and I am a prisoner of Jesus Christ. Just like Paul, I do what the Lord tell me to do. Perfect in it? No. But I keep striving. I keep pushing towards the high calling that God has on my life. And this is where He wants me to be at today. Y'all, I'm doing this series. Y'all know the series by now. We on episode 8. God's masterpiece, a work in progress. Period of time in which the Lord just went to work on your girl. I'll tell you a little bit how it happened. One of the ways in which God did this was He told me that I was to get a job, and it was a graveyard job, y'all. And He told me to start preparing for it like months in advance. Months happened after I got the job. And they still hadn't called. My husband was like, "What's going on? They not gonna call you? They didn't give you no information." And I'm like, "No." He said, "Ain't you gonna call them?" I said, "No, God told me this job was for me. Why would I do that? I ain't got nothing to worry about." But in this time, he said, "Start preparing for it." So I would switch my whole schedule around, and I would be waking up at 10 o'clock at night, and I would just get into my devotion time with the Lord. And then it would be 4 o'clock in the morning, y'all. People getting up. And I'm still in devotion time with the Lord because my schedule was all switched. Do you know I worked that job when they finally did reach out for 7 days and God said, "You done." One of the reasons why I believe that He did that is because I would have never spent to do this great work in me, to talk to you. I used to back in the day watch Dharma and Greg. Anybody know that series? And one of the things they said way back in the day, pre-save, was you're spending all this time in great presence of the universe and you doing all the talking. And it really inspired me because we in the presence of God, why we talking so much? He know our thoughts are far off. Let us hear from Him and what we have going on. Doesn't mean that He doesn't want a conversation. He does. He wants to sup with you. He wants to reason with you about things. But He also wants you to give Him room so that He can talk to you. Right? He needs to move beyond your knowledge, your understanding, your wisdom, and impart His. And you need to give Him room to do it. It's so funny because once when I think I'm done, y'all, I'll be like, "Okay, I think I went through everything." He'd be like, "No, we did something else. Now we went through something else." I want to tell you what that show. Your girl was a hot, fiery mess. That's what it showed. And the Lord had to do a great work in me. Yeah, He had to keep working on me and keep working on me. My life, I'm telling you, it ain't about one of perfection. It ain't about one who did it all right. So God said, "Okay, I'm going to choose you to speak to you, to talk to you, to do this great thing in." No, mine was, see, with you, I know I'm going to have to roll up my sleeves because your girl was on the run. I was on the run. You know how my Christianity can be defined up? A girl on the run. I would push and push and push and strive to reach this high calling, and then I would just quit. And that's what this episode is about today, episode 8, because God had to get me to stop quitting, y'all. You see, God was trying to get me to move beyond me. There was a point where, I just kept feeling like I would break, but I was running from the breaking, y'all. I would run from the breaking. Who wants to break? Whose ambition in life is to break? But God is like, when you break, when you break, when you get to the end of yourself, that's where I can shine through. Yeah, let that flesh break. That's okay. When that flesh break, now my spirit can move. But I didn't want to, and I would keep falling short. I would keep falling short, and I would just turn back to the world because I'm like, this is too hard. And I kept asking people too. I asked my pastor back in the day, I was like, what is going on? I just feel this pressure, like this intensity. Like I had this hunger and drive for the word, like none other. I wanted to get to this word. I had a passion about this word. And it wasn't me. I felt like God was leading me into that and just giving me a hunger and a thirst for it. Read the Bible 4 times in 4 years, tried to read it the fifth time. In the fifth year, God was like, nope, I couldn't get through the second half of it. And he was like, no, we got to do something different. You know, I was called to seminary like in year 2 after I got saved. And I was like, what is this going on? God was asking me to give up stuff and, to give all my stuff away. My pastor was like, it's because he has something for you to do. Yeah, it got to be intense, right? It got to be aggressive because he got something for you to do and he got a time for you to do it and you need to be there. But during this period of time, y'all, the Lord, he showed me about quitting. And he had to. And this is why God had to show me about quitting. Is that he had to reveal to me that I was in a cycle. And here's the cycle that I was in, y'all. It was God, he was bringing to all the things he had for me. And I would begin. Y'all ever been that way where y'all just begin seeing the manifestation of it? Y'all begin seeing what God wants to do with you, what God is bringing you into. He's starting to bring the people to you who you're to, and that's going to help you minister. That's going to teach you, that's going to guide you, that's going to lead you. You can see the setup happening all around you. You see something coming out of you that you didn't necessarily see before. All of a sudden, you see you teaching, you evangelizing. you got a little sermon in you. You on the cusp of preaching. You see you on the cusp and you see you emerging, but then what happened? Somebody come along. They offend you. Somebody come along. Being on now, and then you find yourself going downhill, and then you quit and you give up. And then God's got to bring you back up again. And this cycle just keeps happening. See, God is bringing you up, but the devil's trying to bring you down. And because you keep on surrendering to your feelings, your emotions, to the world that's leading you into death, theft, and destruction, you can't never maintain nothing that God has for you. So that's what was happening with me. And God had to tell me, like, I got to take you offline and I got to deal with you, because if I don't deal with you, we're not never going to get nowhere. He didn't say it like that. Not never. That's a double negative. My ebonics coming through. That's all right. It's all a part of me. But you keep allowing yourself to get pulled down. Daughter, I got to deal with you. For some of y'all trying to get the blessing. Y'all trying to get the promise. And God is like, I can't bring you the wife yet. I can't bring you the husband yet because you ain't got no act right. Some of y'all women looking for your husband. God like, you can't surrender to me. How you going to surrender to a husband? Some of y'all men, y'all looking for a wife. And God is like, hey, you won't even follow my leadership. You want somebody to follow your leadership? You won't surrender and yield to my thoughts and my ways. You think I'm going to bring you one of my daughters so you can lead them in your thoughts and your ways? See, you won't spend no time in my word. You want me to bring you my daughter? What you going to wash her over with? Washing her over with the word. You ain't spending no time with the word. Yeah, God is like, I ain't finna bring you one of my daughters so you can wash her over with your nonsense. See, God got to deal with us first. You asking for the job, you asking for the ministry, you asking for all these things. And God's like, why? When I give them to you, if you're not prepared, very own hands, you're going to tear all those things down. So I got to be able to deal with you first. See, we're so busy in a rush. We want the thing. And God's like, I want it for you too, but I want it to be a blessing. I don't want it to be a curse. I need you to be able to handle the weight of what it is that I want to give you, the magnitude of what it is that I want to bring you into. But you need to be able to handle it. You need to be able to withstand it. See, I got to mature you. I got to mature your faith. I got to perfect your faith. Yeah, see, the Bible tells us Jesus is a perfecter of faith. I need you to wait. See, you need to adopt to Abraham. I need you to wait on this thing. I don't need you in your immaturity throwing tantrums because you can't get your way right now. Every single time you throw your tantrum and you shake your fist at me and you screaming and crying, God, why? It lets me know you're not ready. Yeah. So sometimes God got to be able to deal with us because he's like, you know what? When you walk into this thing, there's a certain way I need you to walk into it. Woo. See, you want to walk into it as yourself, as the way you are right now. No, no. See, you asking to be my hands and feet in the world. Yeah. I don't show up doubtful. I don't show up fearful. I don't show up getting small. All truth. Mm. Yeah. See, I stand in my authority. So if you're going to show up and you want me moving through you, you want them to look at you and see me, we got to work on you. And that's what God had to do with me, y'all. He had to get me to a point where it was okay for me to just take a time out. Hey, let's take a TTO. Let's take a training time out. We got to deal with you. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this quitting. When it would get challenging, y'all, when it would get hard, I was so quick to quit. I just couldn't stay with the thing when it got hard. There was like a level of challenge that I wanted. Like, here's what I could do. And I wanted to like be up here. I wanted to be pushed a little bit. Yeah, but what God was trying to do with me, I was like, no, I ain't gonna be able to do it. This too hard. And y'all, the way how I thought about it back in the day was I used to think like, this is real freedom that I have. I don't have to do something. If I want to walk away from something, I can. I don't have to have it be hard. I don't have to have it be challenging. I don't have to have it be uncomfortable. I'm free. Mm. One day I got in my bag, y'all, and I was telling God, I'm just gonna be honest. Don't judge me. I was like, I don't have to minister. I don't have to deal with these folks. I don't have to do what it is the God's telling me to do. I don't have to. I don't have to. I don't have to. The Holy Spirit cut through all that and was like, come back to me when you do. Oh. See, God had to realize that, this false freedom that I had, if I kept leaning into that false freedom that I had, that I would never become what it was that he desired me to become. That if I kept taking the opportunity to run every single time it got hard, when things didn't go my way, when it got challenging, that I would never see what it was that he had for me. When I came to realize that there's so much more on the line, it's not just about the moment of hardship. This is my destiny that's on the line. This is my relationship with God that's on the line. Because when it got hard, y'all, I would run from God. Like there's too much at stake for me to run, for me to quit. One of the things that he showed me was that, it wasn't just me that was involved in this quitting process, that it was Satan that wanted me to quit. It was Satan's design for me to give up. And he would create situations, understanding my patterns and learning me and how I was, that would make me run. See, Satan's been studying you your whole life. He knows what makes you quit. He knows what makes you give up. I want to ask you, what is that? Because God had to work with me, y'all, and he had to reveal it to me. And I'm going to show you all these ways, and I'm going to work through it specifically because I know once when I tell my story, it's going to help some of y'all because y'all going to be able to recognize that y'all do some of the same things too. And I'm not trying to say I've been delivered from it. I'm not just trying to say I never quit. I never desired to quit from anything. But I tell you right now, it's only for a moment. It's only for a moment. And then I remember I'm like, I'm not giving up on God. I'm not giving up on what he has for me. I'm not. Because at the end of the day, all I'm doing is giving up on myself. Like what God desires for me is actually for me. It's for my benefit. It's so that I can win. So me giving up on what God has for me is not doing nothing for me. So I want to tell you one of the ways, it's so good, y'all, that the Lord started working with me on this. And that the first thing he did was he started giving me certain tasking, and he would be like, if you go doing this, this will happen. So I get set up with all these high expectations, and then I would go do the thing, but then it wouldn't happen. See, something happened, but it didn't happen anywhere near the way how I thought it would happen, the bigness that was built up in my spirit. So I would get disappointed. Y'all, this would happen so many times where I just felt like I was built up so high and the bottom was just dropped from me and I would just fall flat on my face. See, something happened. God is not a man that he should lie. But it wasn't what I thought. And I would get so disappointed to where I would be bawling. And I would be like, God, why would you do this to me? Why would you build me up this way? And this didn't happen. I would just be crying. And I would be like, see, this is too hard for me. I can't do this. And what God showed me, he said, listen to yourself, Jennifer. Listen to how you're talking. He said, that's what you do when you're disappointed. You see, God will take you through these things because he wants to reveal to you your heart. And what I understood that when I encounter real disappointment, I want to give up. So he showed me you have to learn to work through that. Disappointment is a part of life because you're building up these expectations so high, and you have to understand not everything is going to go your way. Will you still remain when everything doesn't go your way? Will you still stay in this thing? I want to ask you, can you stay in a thing beyond disappointment? See, another thing God did for me is rejection. He allowed me to get rejected by certain people. And it would just be little rejections here and there. But see, I had this thing to where, I pour my whole heart to people. And I love people. I really do try to love people. And you ever be around people and you like, why can't people just be nice? Why people got to say slick stuff out their mouth? Why people got to be rude? Why people got to be mean? Like, I don't understand it. So because I'm a person that, is just trying to they best to love, if you say something to me once, it's a done deal. It's a done data. I'd be like, I'm done. My heart is shut down. And God had to have me work through that. And it's like some people don't even mean to offend, don't even mean to reject you. You're just taking it that way. I need you to be able to stay regardless. See, even though I was physically present with the person, my heart was checked out, baby. I'm here with you, but I'm not here with you. Because y'all messed up. And God had to help me through it because he's like, these people that I'm sending you for purpose. See, you can't take for granted what I'm doing in your life. I'm not just working in one aspect of your life. I'm working in all aspects of your life. I'm setting things up for you to prosper you. I'm bringing people to you. You can't take that for granted. So when you write people off like that, you could be writing off a blessing that I'm sending you. I need you to remain in these challenging relationships because you don't understand Satan will enter an individual to get them to reject you because he knows that all he got to do is just with a little bit of rejection, you'll run, you'll turn. He knows how to get to you. So if you don't learn how to withstand that, you never going to learn how to be on one accord with someone and stay in one accord with another. So you can do together what I've called y'all to do together. See, I need you to learn how to work through rejection. Another way how he did this was he showed me my emotions. Y'all, I would get to a point where when I had a hard day, when I was tired, y'all ever have a hard day and just be tired and you cooked? Towards a long day, you'd be like, I ain't doing nothing else. I'm not. And I would do this thing where I would just check out. Hey, out of service. I'm done. I'm not doing nothing else. I don't care. Baby, the building could be on fire and I'll let it burn. I'm not getting up out that bed. I'm done. And God had to show me, see, this is what you do when you're tired. People will be talking to me. I'm not even listening. Stuff can need to get done. I'm not doing it. I'm exhausted. Y'all ever cook yourselves so much to where you're just tired and you like, I'm not moving. See, God had to show me that. He had to show me when I get overwhelmed, when I start having a million things on my plate, that I would just check out and be like, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. It's too hard. It's too much stuff to do. I would get overwhelmed. And the crazy thing, it was me overwhelming myself. I'm coming up with all these extra things to do. But I would want to quit. I would want to give up. You see, the Lord had to show me all these things. And not only did he have to show me, okay, these are the times where you want to give up, where you need to quit, but I need you to be able to know that those are your faults, and I need you to be able to guard against them. So here's what I need you to do. And he walked me through this process that was so beautiful. He said, because you get tired, here's what I want you to do. I need you to take a 30-minute nap midday. Go get yourself some rest so that you have enough energy, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't want to. I just need you to rest. It ain't about how you feel right now. You may not feel like you need it, but come 7 o'clock, you're going to need it. When people are asking things of you, when you still have stuff to do. So I need you to take a nap. These are just practical things. So you get yourself hungry, you get yourself burnt out. I need you to be able to eat regularly throughout the day. I don't care if you're hungry or not. Get yourself something to eat. So it's funny because this is still a thing that the Holy Spirit works on with me. I'll get through my morning routine and I'll try to leave the house and the Lord will be like, did you eat? And you may not think that's a big thing, but it's a practical thing because I know if I get out there and get moving, it could be evening time. And if I haven't ate yet, I'm going to be irritable. I'm not going to have the energy I need and I'm going to respond differently. And I could possibly respond in a way that's unrecoverable. So I got to be able to guard against these things. So he was telling me about time management, about organizing my day. When you first get started, I need you to consider with me what it is needs to get done. And let's organize the day together so that you don't get overwhelmed. I need you to have faith in me that if it don't get done, it wasn't meant to get done. And it's all right. You got tomorrow. It's just the little things. One of the things he was talking to me about with rejection was like, you got to learn to say no to people. Not only that, make people wait. It's funny because my kids be asking me for basic stuff. Hey, mom, you want to go watch this movie? I'd be like, hey, let me get back to you. People ask me to do stuff and I'd be like, let me think about that. I'm going to get back to you. I take it to the Lord. I think about it and I get back to him when I can. See, it's just these little things. because you got to know yourself and you got to go to God so God can tell you the real truth about you and give you strategy for how to deal with you. Because, see, you got to learn yourself and you got to know that Satan's learning you. So I got to learn myself so I can guard against myself because Satan is learning you and he's using all of your faults, all of your weaknesses against you. And if you don't guard against those weaknesses, Satan got you. He going to get you to tear down what God is trying to build up in you by your very own hands. You see, one of the things that the Lord dealt with me about because I was letting my emotions rule me, right? When I get tired, when I get angry, frustrated, overwhelmed, all these different things. He's like, you got to see Satan's place in all that. And I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Your thoughts that you grab hold to become strongholds that your soul defends tooth and nail. They begin to stir up emotions that you can feel in your flesh. And once when it's in the body, it's not long before it acts on it. This is how Satan gets you to be used as an instrument of sin. This is how the devil will kill, steal, and destroy in your life and devour because he's lying to you. This is how he gets you to do all that by your very own hands. See, you got to guard your thoughts. So one of the things the Lord did, hey, quitting first start with a thought. I need you to deal with your thoughts. Anything that's getting you to move outside of my will, it's not of my spirit. So what spirit is it of? So you got to guard against that. So what I had to learn to do, y'all, is I had to not lean on my own understanding. I had to start seeing what was really going on. Like I'm really working against myself because I'm allowing myself to get to a place where I just keep quitting. I wasn't allowing God to push me, to challenge me. I wasn't allowing for the resistance to allow me to grow. I wasn't pushing through it. I would only get so far and I would keep running. See, God kept putting me in this hard place so I would learn how to work through it and so I would grow, but I kept running from it. And God was like, I'm going to keep bringing you here until you learn to push through it. Why? Because you think this is happening at your level right now. What do you think is going to happen when I elevate you in the spirit? When I start unleashing these spiritual giftings within you, when I start extracting them, when I start putting you to use in a different way, in a great way, coming against the kingdom of darkness, you think there's not going to be no resistance there? Wait till I start using you in such a manner in which souls are being saved. You don't think Satan's coming after you? You don't think he's coming after your family? You don't think it's going to be more aggressive? See, you got to understand, God got your prayer. Yeah, you want to be used of him. You want to be his hands and feet. Yeah, you want to be an instrument of the Lord's. He's like, okay, let me prepare you because you don't know what's waiting for you at that level. Yeah, I'm going to send you amongst wolves. I need to get you ready for the wolves. See, I'm sending you out there, but no, as I send you out there, Satan's waiting on you. I need to get you ready. But see, you let little things get you off track. You let little things distract you. You let little things bring you down. You so wrapped up in the natural and what's happening that you keep running. You keep quitting. You won't just move with me and go with me. I want to use you, but I need to make you usable. And you ain't going to do that on your own. The only way you're going to do that is by surrender and yielding to me and letting me work you. Letting me work through you. Letting me work on you. You see, I had to not lean on myself. Once when I understood, I got to get myself out of the way because I'm working against myself. I can't lean on my own understanding. I had to know that my heart was deceitful. I had to know that it was desperately wicked. Who can know it? I had to know I was going to fall short. And I just had to keep pressing. I just had to keep pressing. I had to pray into that thing. God, get me out of the way. God, let me not rely on me. God, help me. I had to believe that there was nothing too hard for God and God could get me through it. God's got me. I just got to believe in him. I just got to let him do it. I just got to keep moving in him. He's got me. I just need to keep taking the steps. God's got me. It ain't on me. It's on him. What God is calling me to do, it's requiring him. All I need to do is keep seeking him. Just knowing that I'm going to fall, get back up, keep going. I'm going to fall, keep back up, and keep going. I had to have this press about me. You see, I also had to have this expectation that Satan's coming for me. He's going to do everything he can to trip me up, to get me to quit. But as long as I don't quit and as long as I keep going, I got a chance to be able to see what God's got me. And I can't even rely on myself to not quit. Because our adversary, the devil, is on the prowl looking for who to devour. He's just waiting. He's just looking. But I got to know God's going to help me. God's going to help me not to quit. Because my heart's desire really is to become all that God desires me to become. You see what I'm saying? But it takes a leaning into. I want you to see this thing because I want to go through a little bit of scripture, y'all. Because I want to get this line by line process. And once when we get this in our head, we're able to get on the track that God desires us to be on. Listen to this. This, I can't rely on me. See, I got to be able to have faith in God, not in myself, in God. And I got to know this. Listen, that the measure of faith, even that I have, God gives. It just ain't on me. Yeah, faith is a gift that God gives you, the measure. So even my faith ain't on me. I just got to lean into it. That's Romans 12:3. See, I got to take the steps in faith, being obedient, that God has for me. I can't get overwhelmed by the bigness of what God is doing, by all the things that Satan is doing to come against me. I can't get caught up in what's happening with my family, what's happening with my kids, what's happening in my marriage, what's happening on my job, what's happening in the church, what's happening around me. I can't get wrapped up in that. All those things are distractions that the devil is using to take my eyes off of Jesus. I just got to take the step. I got to know the word in that. The steps of a righteous man are ordered. I just need to take the next step. That's Psalms 37:23. I got to know that I do that in obedience because to obey him is to know him. The word says 1 John 2:5. See, I don't want to be in front of the Lord one day and have him say, "Depart from me, I never knew you." No, I want to know the Lord. And to know him is to obey him. And why do I obey him? I obey him because I love him. John 14:15. But even that, 1 John 14:4-19. I love him because he loved me first. Y'all, do you see this thing? It's not about me. It's about God. Some of y'all are leaving God out of the thing. And you depending too much on yourself. You depending on too much of your might, of your strength, of your power. And you need to yield to God and embrace his spirit and let his spirit move through you. God know exactly what need to get done to get you to where you got to go. You got to let him. See, I kept quitting because I kept thinking it was all on me. And I'm like, God, I can't do this. Yeah, you can't do it on your own, but through me, don't you know you can do all things? But you're not doing it through me. See, there's a lot of things that the Lord has me doing right now in which I'm completely moving outside of my comfort zone. But I'm like, nah, I trust you, God. I have faith in you. I believe in you. I know you're going to show up in this thing. And I'm going to just keep going. And I don't care what the outcome is. I don't care what happened. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep moving because it's even in that, in the obedience that I want to live my life. I necessarily don't have to make $1 million. Don't mean I don't want it. But I don't have to do it. I don't have to have my name be known all over the world. It'd be cool though. I don't necessarily have to have the likes and the admiration of people. Be all right. I actually just need to obey God. And the only reason why I obey him is because I love him. And at the end of the day, if I just keep pressing in, if I just keep leaning in, and if I just keep obeying God, that's success. Don't you see it? That's when I get to heaven and God will say, well done, good and faithful servant. See, why do we quit? Why do we quit? We don't quit because we're leaning on him, because God got us. We quit because we're leaning on us. When we accept the fact that this is all God's training ground for us to get us to where he wants us to go, we begin to expect the hard, the challenge from other people and even within ourselves. And we look at that as an opportunity to push through. Now, when it start getting hard, when I get in that hard place, when I get backed up against the wall, I'm like, this is a chance for me to show that I can still do it. It's funny because I was in the bed the other day and it was this amazing thing that was happening. I was just reflecting on where I was at in my life with what was going on. And I was like, this is too hard. This is too much. I just can't do it. But there was this talk that was going on that it felt like it was pushing me to say I quit. And I had to keep rejecting it and resisting it and was like, no, I resist that thought. I don't quit. No, I'm not giving up. No, I'm never giving up on God. See, in this moment right here is where it matters. It's where it shows me that I got what it takes. And it's my faith in God. It's that I'm not quitting. It's that I'm not leaning into. You see, it's not when everything's easy, when everything's going your way. It's when that faith is tested. And don't you know, your faith will be tested. That's what God do. A lot of what's happening right now is God is like, I want to see if you won't quit, if you won't give up. See, you waiting on the promise and it's taking so long and you trying to figure out what's going on. God is testing your faith because he's trying to mature it. He's trying to perfect it. But we keep on quitting and we keep on giving up and we keep failing the test. And what happened? Another test. And thank God for the testing. Hey, because when I'm tested like Job, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come forth like pure gold. And that's what I'm striving for. That's what I'm pressing for. See, I got to see another version of me. I'm tired of this version of me. I'm tired of this same life that I've been living day after day. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of walking away. I'm tired of these cycles. I got to see what this thing is all about. I got to see why Satan keep coming for me so hard and everything that's attached to me. I got to see what it is that God placed in me. I know that I'm chosen. I just know it. I feel it in my spirit. I feel that there's this bigness in me. I feel that I'm set apart. I feel that I'm destined for something great. Don't ask me how I know. I know it's in my spirit. I got to find out what that is. And I'll never find it out if I keep quitting. So what God got to do, he got to help you not to quit. He got to show you what those triggers are that are causing you to quit and give you strategy against it. He knows how Satan is working. You thinking it's just you. No, it's Satan that's triggering you every chance he get. You ever wonder that? You be talking to a person and they say just something slick out of nowhere and you're like, what the heck? What's going on here? Where did that come from? Just all of a sudden, you have a day and everything going sideways. Milk falling on the floor. People keep bothering you. Jennifer, Jennifer, Jennifer. They all in your ear all day. Stuff ain't going your way. Yeah, Satan's just chipping away at you. Because he know if he keep doing it, you're going to quit. So you got to resist this devil. He'll flee and you just got to keep going. But you need God to partner with you to help you with that. So this is good, y'all, because if we don't never learn how to stop quitting, do you know we ain't never going to get to where God wants us to go. I want you to know God did it in me, and he can do it with you too if you just let him. Just give him your time. See, God is a rewarder with those who seek him diligently. And what is he rewarding you with? See, you're thinking it's riches, finances, the house, a car. Do you know the reward of him very self, of his very self, is enough? Go take the time and seek God. Give him a chance. Give him a chance to work on you and watch what he do. He'll surprise you. I didn't even know some of the things. That's why the Lord had me do this series, because he's like, I need the people to know that if they give me a chance, if they seek me, I'll do it for them too. That this is what he actually does with people. Now, did he do this in the first year? No. When I first started seeking him, no. But that relationship, if you let it build and blossom over time, he will reveal to you more of yourself to you and reveal more of himself to you, to the point where, guess what? You will actually come to know yourself and come to know him. You just got to let him, y'all. You just got to let him. So, y'all, that's all I have for today. And my prayer is always that you surrender to God, that you let him do a great work in you. I pray that he meets your needs according to his riches and glory, and that you pray into that thing, that he fulfills the desires of your heart. Pray into that thing. Most importantly, I pray you lose yourself in Jesus. Just go away with him. Let him work on you. If you're interested in life coaching, shoot me an email. If you're interested in a Christian Basics Bible Club, let's get it started. Be the first one. If you're desiring a book club, Fridays, 5 p.m. PST, I got a video on it. Go check it out. Christine Kane, Don't Look Back, getting unstuck and his call on his life as a 21-year-old who got saved about 4 months ago now, to be a voice of the Lord, expressing his commitment to Jesus Christ through fashion and allowing other people to do the same. Go support him. His t-shirt is on my page, about $20. Go support a young man on this cold. All right, y'all. Let me get on out of here.